Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing this Audi TTS. So let's just get right into it. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to be talking about in this review is going to be the exterior styling of this 2016 TTS. Now, right when you look at it, you can tell that there is definitely a very heavy revision that has been done to this TTS. It doesn't look like any other older TTS. It looks so much better, it looks so much more aggressive and way more sharp, and has some clean lines to it, like this one running right down here. That line I love. And then you go up to the front and you have all these little intricate lines up here. It's just awesome. I love the way this car looks. They definitely did a very good job on the design and the redesign of this car. And this is the current model. The 2016 was the change to the model year, so this is what you will find if you go get a 2020 or the newest model, whatever that would be. But I love the way this car looks. You got the quad tip exhaust on the back, and you just got all the new LED headlights and everything that Audi offers in that way. You also have this spoiler that pops up, which I'll show you right now. So yeah, so like I was saying, there's where the spoiler is popped up. You can see it, it looks really cool. Definitely adds an element to this car that when you look on the side, it definitely looks a little more sporty now. The back just doesn't slant off. Looks good for sure. So now what we're gonna do, it's super hot out here. We're gonna jump in to the interior and go from there. All right, so now we're in the interior, and as you can see, the first thing that you're greeted with when you step into this car is this beautiful steering wheel. It's lined in some leather that is definitely some premium leather, and you got the Audi badge right up front. And then you have these nice little buttons over here that just control the center screen up front. I'll get to that in a bit. You got more buttons over here. You got your cruise control down here. Very simple to use. They didn't try to make it hard at all for you. And then on the steering wheel, they hide a little bit. I wish they were a little bigger, but you got your paddles for the downshift here. And then over on this side, you have your paddle for the upshift as well. All right, and so the second thing that you are greeted with when you come into this car is going to be this center screen. Now, it looks just like a normal screen, but this is the screen you get. It's very intuitive. It's one of the best things in this car. It's very high tech. You obviously don't have a screen over here. So this is all you got. You can scroll through the menus with either these buttons on the steering wheel, or you can use this down below. You can control it with this as well. It's like any other Audi display. If you've ever been in an Audi, it works the same way. You got your volume controls over here, hang up and pick up calls. You got your voice assistant, your nav volume, your special button, which in this car, this case, it is the drive select mode. So we can go from comfort, auto, dynamic, individual. So if you want it to be really sporty on the upshifts and downshifts, you can pick it to be that way. But if you want it to ride smoother, you can pick it that way. That's what the individual means. So there's so many menus in here, different vehicle menus, different layouts of the screen that you can pick. All right, so on to the second part in this car that you probably will notice when you jump in is going to be these vents. As you can see, all the vents look the same. You got that one over there, and then you have this one right here. So these vents are honestly one of the coolest parts to this car. You can adjust the temperatures and all the climate controls on these vents. All right, and also one of the coolest things that I love about this car are the seats that I'm sitting in right now. I personally love these seats a lot. I'm gonna give you a better view over on the passenger side. But they're quilted leather seats. They're fully leather. They have this nice little S logo in the front of them. And then this little part is weird. It extends for your legs if you ever would need that to support you more, like when you're driving. I can pop this out and it will just hold my legs up, I guess. I don't really know what that's for. It's kind of weird, but we'll just leave it where it is. All right, so one thing that you guys probably noticed are these back seats behind me. As you guys know, I own a BRZ, so these seats are a lot like my BRZ seats. They're super small, but we will give it a try and see if I can fit back there. I should be able to, but it just won't be comfortable. So here we go. All right, so now that I've promised you guys to try to get in the back of these, we're gonna try it, so wish me luck. So I can fit. I probably, if there was a guy sitting up there, he probably couldn't sit up there because I've scooted the seat up all the way. But I would have enough leg room. I am 6 foot, so I would say anybody can fit back here. The worst part is what's right behind me. I can't go flat at all. Like if I was gonna sit like a normal human, it would have to be like this, which is super uncomfortable. But they are usable. If you have a small child, you can put them back here. It even has the car seat hookups, so you could do that if you wanted to. Also, these fold down, so you can just fold down one seat and you have more luggage space, which is really what most people are going to use it for. Not really ever going to use these back seats. All right, so now that we're all buckled up and ready to go, we're going to take this thing on a drive and see how it handles. Let's go. All right, well, first things first, the thing is pretty fast. Compared to my BRZ, it's definitely faster in a straight line, which it's also 92 more horsepower, and it's turbocharged, and it's an Audi. Whoa. Yeah, that's a good one. This car, man. Woo! First impressions are pretty good. Love the way this car drives. It just has a straight line speed that is awesome. I wouldn't say it's anything like insane, but it's supposed to be in baby R8, so I think they killed it in the straight line speed. It goes 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. So that's pretty quick for a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that makes almost 300 brake horsepower. All right, so this car is a 2016 Audi TTS. The starting price when this was brand new was about 52,000, somewhere in that ballpark, depending on how you spec'd it. It could be upwards of maybe low 60s. But you can find one of these now used for around 40 grand, something like that. And then if you go with the TT, which is a little less horsepower and it doesn't have all these nice little features, you can get one maybe for 32 grand on the used market, depending on what you want and what you're looking at. And then you also have the RS, which is the bigger brother of this one. That is more track focused and is more raw, and that will even be higher than this car. So depending on what you want, there's 3 different models. All right, so like I was saying, this thing is a 4-cylinder. It's a 2-liter engine. It's turbocharged. It makes 292 horsepower, and it also makes 280 foot-pound of torque. So it's a pretty good little machine. I mean, it's quite the little beast for sure. Oh yeah, this is a fun car for sure. You can definitely have some fun. If you see a Mustang, just burn him just for the fun of it. That would just be great. Any TT owners out there would love to see videos of that. So the transmission in this car is a dual clutch auto. They don't offer a manual in the TT or the TTS, but they do offer a manual in the TTRS. So if you want the manual version, I would go for that one. Me personally, I think that would be a little more fun, Not saying that this car isn't fun, as it is. It is a blast. The transmission's great. It shifts nice and fast. It is a dual clutch, so that is amazing, but the manual is just always so engaging. It's great to have. So as you guys probably know, this thing is a all-wheel drive. So it is part of Audi's Quattro division. So they invented this way back in the day with their rally cars, and they were one of the first to really implement this all-wheel drive system into their sports cars. It also weighs roughly 3,000 pounds or so it's not too heavy. It's definitely a little nimble, small sports car for sure, that you can have some fun with, like this. Probably get in a little trouble too, so definitely watch your speed. You can get up there pretty quick. This thing is got a little pep in its step, let's just put it that way. Now, one thing that I know I've heard other TT owners say about this car and the new revamp of it is the steering feel definitely feels a little electronic. What I mean by that is you don't get that raw feel. You don't feel like you're connected to the car. But it is a luxury thing. It is easier to handle. All right, so one thing that I'm not really too fond of in this car is going to be the steering feel. It just feels a little electronic. Now, I know I've heard other people say this as well, so this isn't just my opinion. But for the driving feel and what this car is meant to be, I think they missed the mark just a little bit on that. But it's still a great car. I think Audi smashed it with this redesign and revamp of the TT. Definitely looks a little more manly for sure. Love the way they redesigned that. Yeah, the interior is probably my favorite part. You got the steering wheel, you got the virtual cockpit, you have all of these little air control vents with the different dials on them and buttons, and all of this is just very techy, and I love that side of this car. I think they killed it. These seats are sick. I would own one of these if it was in my price bracket for sure. But as you guys know, I bought my BRZ for 15, and this was around 40 grand for this car. So that's a little bit out of my range. All right, so I have one more thing to show you guys. Now, believe it or not, this car doesn't come with any instructions to do this. You just kind of have to look it up online or think that it may have it. This car actually has launch control, so there's no instructions for it or anything, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it just in case you ever drive one of these. It is a blast to do, especially with the all-wheel drive in this car. All right, safety first. You got to put on your seatbelt first, because you're going to get going pretty fast, pretty quick. And if you crash, you don't want to fly through the windshield, because that would suck. So safety first, seatbelt on. And then we got it in sport, dynamic, traction control off, and left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas, build boost, and let go. So here we go. Holy shit. And that's how you go 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. All right, so that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the review on the 2016 Audi TTS. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions, drop those down below in the comment section. And if you liked it, leave a like. And as always, hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.